Hello, welcome back to Dreamwalker Tarot. My name is Dawn, and this is the 2022 year ahead reading for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Mercury. Please go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell for post notifications. Now, let's just get into this reading, shall we? So normally when I do the readings, I do it for, the sign, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Mars. This month for the year ahead, I'm going to be looking at what you're going to expect to see in 2022. But I'm dealing predominantly with the Venus, which I normally do because this is the year of the lovers. And I feel like that's we have to look at Venus and how Venus is going to be playing out this year, particularly in this spread, because that is the card of the year. And also looking at Mercury, because at this time, Mercury's in retrograde, but the Lover's card is also the astrological tarot card for Gemini, which is ruled by Mercury. And so communication is going to be a major part this year, as well as, the energy of the Lover's card. So just wanted to kind of clear that up so that there's no misunderstandings. And let's show you the cards. Okay, so I used the Sacred Symbols Divination card to pull the general energies for 2022. And so the first two cards that came out were the Goddess card in the upright and the Earth card in the reverse. And my initial reaction to this card, the Goddess card is referencing motherly nature, nurturing nature, and the mother, the maid, and the crone. So these are three feminine energies that are going to be kind of having an impact in your life during 2022. And so for some of you with the Earth card in the reverse, Earth is something that you can touch. It's like it's tangible. So these three females are not necessarily tangible, meaning they're in spirit, right? So it could be a mother, it could be so you have three feminine energies: the mother, the maid, and the crone. So you have like the young female, the mother, the mother, and then like an older feminine energy. And all three of those energies are definitely going to be kind of surrounding you and kind of guiding you throughout this process this year. Like I said, with the Earth card in the reverse, it's not someone that is in this physical realm, but they are definitely surrounding you and they're going to be present with you throughout this year. And that's the initial. For there's another message here for working with your overall feminine energy and kind of tapping into your feminine energy, allowing yourself to be a little bit like water and to kind of flow and to get unstuck in your energies, kind of like tapping into the element of being receptive. And with, like I said, with Venus playing out here, being receptive and open to affection and love from the women in your life. This could be a relationship, but this could also just be like feminine, energies around you. So kind of tapping into that feminine energy, but also being receptive and open is something that is going to kind of come up for you this year. It's something that you need to, or you will find yourself having to work on. From the Romance Angels Oracle deck, the card that came out was the Soulmate card. And this card said, yes, this is your soulmate. You chose this card because you wonder if a person is your soulmate. And the answer is yes. And we all do. You have many soulmates, beings with whom you share a mystical soul connection and life path. Soulmates incarnate with the plan of coming together for mutual spiritual and personal growth. As you suspected, the person you're inquiring about is the one of yours. That sense of familiarity and comfort you felt when you first met also indicates your soulmate bond. This card sometimes comes to those who ask, when will I meet my soulmate? Or will I ever meet my soulmate? As validation that this will occur. this card is showing up as validation of that, right? So that this will happen. Many times, this is a person whom you already know. Although romantic sparks didn't fly at first, you have another opportunity to explore passion together. So, in the Life Purpose Oracle deck, the two cards that came out for the overall energy for 2022 is Let Go and the School card. And the Let Go card says to walk away from this situation in order to resolve it. And the School card, which says that the answer that you're seeking involves going to school. So the let go card, I feel like is talking about kind of like releasing anxiety that you might have about going back to school. Maybe you feel like you're in a phase where you don't really want to do that. And so I think you have to relinquish the back and forth that you're going through in your head about whether it's time to go back, if you should go back, and just let that go, because the answer is for you to go back to school. If you're having a little bit of doubt about that, like, now is a perfect time for that. The energies for this year would really allow you to be successful and really working on something that you feel good about, especially moving forward, right? So there, like, I do get a lot of energy thinking about the energies to Capricorn for 2022, and there was a lot of feeling like you are slightly behind the goalpost as far as what you set for yourself. You feel like there's things that you want to accomplish that you haven't been able to accomplish. And so now you're kind of like in this space where it's something that you're actively working towards, which is a really good thing for you, because, you do set these goals for yourself that you want to accomplish. And so being in that state where you feel like you're working towards your goal is really a good energetic place to be in for the year. And I really kind of feel like that is something that you're going to be really focused on this year. Also, there's this idea of where you actually work, like your workplace itself, to be mindful of the individuals that are around you, because there is the energy of especially during this period right now. Right now we're in Venus retrograde, and we're also in Mercury retrograde. And so there's also the full moon on the 17th, right? So there's a lot of energy going on. So be mindful of the way that you speak with your coworkers. There's like a high chance for misunderstandings between individuals at work. And so you want to be mindful of just the types of communications that you're having with the people that work in your space, especially if this is a job that you see yourself being at in the future, or a job that you feel like you want to progress in, right? So you have to be mindful of the conversations that you have with people at work, the things that you say at work to people, because during this time they could be kind of like easily misunderstood, and that can cause unnecessary tension and drama, right? And also to kind of take a beat out in terms of like your temper. Be mindful of it flaring up. During this time period, you want to kind of chill out a little bit, and kind of think before you speak and think before you do, because there's a lot of retrograde energy going on during this time. The other thing that came up is, again, because of Mercury retrograde and Venus in retrograde, you might find yourself in the position of having to entertain conversations with individuals from past relationships that have come back to you looking for clarity, looking for an understanding about the nature of the relationship that you had with them and why it ended, right? So be mindful of that and the way that you communicate exactly where you're at in terms of walking away from that situation. Anything that's coming back to you at this time is not really something to revisit in terms of, saying like, okay, even though we're not together anymore and I want to get with you if you're single. It's not anybody that comes back to you this time. It's really a chance for you to kind of cut the cord, or release the relationship, or sever any type of ties. And so if that is something that you want to do, like with this particular person, this is an opportunity to kind of like close the door on the situation once and for all and kind of clean that up, right? It's not, now is a good time for that. Just be mindful again about how you say it and the way that you communicate it, so that there's no confusion about, the message that you're trying to deliver. So on to the next spread. This is the year ahead spread. So the card that is the overall energy for the year is being represented here by the Knight of Pentacles, and that is such a Capricorn card to get, right? Like, this is really a year of you focusing on being productive, focusing on completing a lot of tasks that you have kind of sitting in your head about, like, again, where you want to go, what you want to do. So you're kind of like working this year actively on checking off the boxes of all the things that you want to accomplish. You are focused, you're feeling a little, you're driven, and you're not worried about, like, I don't want to say you're not worried about fun, but you're not worried about anything outside of doing the work that needs to get done. Like, that is your focus. And it's focusing on all the little details, and it's focusing on, the regular everyday tasks, setting up a routine for yourself, setting up a schedule for yourself, being focused, being committed. Like, that is the type of energy that you're going to be embodying for 22, which is a freaking amazing ass energy. Especially for you, Capricorn, like, that is kind of what you want to do. And so that's kind of like the zone that you're going to be working on throughout 2022. So this is these are the cards that came out for the overall energy for 2022. Okay. So what we have is a situation here where Capricorn, you were in a relationship or some type of situation with a Queen of Cups individual. So that could be a Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer, right? This is a situation that you walked away from. You didn't necessarily want to walk away from the situation, but you really felt like you did not have a choice. Because with the Moon card, with the Moon showing up in the Eight of Cups, you found out some things about this person. So that's one aspect of it. But then there's also the aspect of, like, with the Eight of Cups, with feeling like you're walking away from a situation, that there's something missing. So you might have felt like in the relationship, there was something missing. There might have been like a third party situation involved with the situation. Like, you left one person you walked away from one person to go to another person, which you thought was a better fit for you. Like I said, it's not something that you necessarily wanted to do, but it's something that you felt you had to do because you found out a lot about this individual. With the Seven of Swords here, and the Five of Swords, it looks like you made a decision based on some intuitive information that kind of came into you, or you might have heard about the deception that this person was involved in with the Seven of Swords. It's in the reverse. This means that this is something that you learned about this individual. And so as a result, the nature of your relationship with this person is a little bit guarded. It's a little bit defensive, and you are involved in a lot of repeating conversations and talking about things that you might have already spoken about, but it keeps happening. These same situations keep happening, right? And so with the Four of Cups here, the Four of Pentacles here, in April, it looks like there's a situation involving this particular Queen of Cups individual involving money. And so I think because of the way that you experienced them in the past and finding out that they're untrustworthy, you are a little bit tight in terms of money that you might give them or share with them. And so that's going to be playing out for the first 4 months of the year. So from January to February, that's going to be an issue and something that comes up. With the Six of Cups here and the Page of Pentacles, this looks like the return of someone from your childhood. It could be a child. There's a lot of like young energy here, with the Knight of Pentacles being the overall, but also the Page of Pentacles is showing up, and the Knight of Cups. There is some type of emotional attachment to this particular person, but it is someone that is from your childhood, or again, it could be a child, comes back to you or comes back into your life, but also it could be just someone that wants to reminisce about your childhood that is, a little bit younger than they're not like older, they're young, they're like, early teenage years to like mid 20s or whatever, and they might be coming back to kind of reminisce about their childhood. And so look out for that in May, right? Okay, so in the summer months, June and July, you're going to hit a little bit of a snag in terms of your productivity. I think you're going to get to the point where you feel a little bit upset or a little bit disillusioned with the progress that you're making in the work that you've been, putting in work for the year. So you're going to hit a little bit of snag in terms of like proceeding forward with what you're trying to build. But that kind of shifts away in September, right? Where you're back to creating and back to really leaning into creating the future that you see for yourself. So with the Knight of Cups in the reverse and the Sun card, that's like June or July. That's something that you'll notice, right? And so just kind of power through that little bit of a period and return back in August, ready to kick ass and ready to create the life that you want to create. There's also the possibility of some sort of pregnancy in August with the Empress card, or you having a type of situation with a Virgo in August, which is entirely possible because that is her month, right? So there is some type of new, fresh energy coming in with your relationship with a Virgo, but also, like I said, there's a possibility of creating life with the Empress card here in that space. Okay. So in September, you might be getting some messages or going through a little bit of kind of like an overactive crown chakra thing, just getting a lot of messages and a lot of downloads that might interfere with the way that you're able to sleep, or, it might just give you a lot of anxiety. This could kind of go back to the whole thing about the Mother, the Maid, and the Crone. I feel like those energies are kind of what's happening during September, right? That seems to be like a very active time for you in terms of like your intuition and downloading of messages and getting information. In October, you're going to be looking at possibly an internship, collaborating with other people, to kind of like learn new skill sets, or you might be going into a training at work, or you might be working with someone else that's going to be teaching you some new skills or how to do something new, which is going to be like kind of like the end of a cycle for you. Like you've been going through this period where you felt like you weren't necessarily progressing in the way that you wanted to, and that like everything was kind of like stacked against you. But it's like you're coming to that space where that's kind of turning over in November with the Wheel of Fortune card. It's like you're starting like a new cycle in your life where you have the opportunity to do things right and make the right choices moving forward, right? With the Nine of Pentacles in reverse in December, you want to be mindful of not overspending, overindulging, and just spending recklessly. That is also something that you have to be aware of right now during Venus in retrograde, because Venus in retrograde is really talking about being mindful about overspending on large ticket items, like buying a car, buying something that's rather expensive that serves the sole function of beautifying your space. Like I feel like you're in the space where you want to kind of change some things around in your house, which is fine. But if it's a big purchase, I think you need to wait till after March to do that. Like wait till the end of March to make any major purchases on anything, because if you buy anything during this Venus retrograde, you're gonna regret it, right? And that looks like it's also something that's coming up for you at the end of the year, right? So you want to be mindful of that. I feel like that pretty much sums up everything that I'm seeing for you for 2022. Again, Capricorn, stay focused, stay grounded, stay positive, and if you get any return people back into your life, be mindful of closing out things that need to be closed out in a very dignified way. Don't overspend, and have a wonderful year creating and moving through the process towards your new beginnings, right? Thank you so much for listening. I hope that this message helped you in some way. Please go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave me a note letting me know how excited you are for 2022 or how not excited you are for 2022. Let's come back at the end of the year and kind of do like an overview and see how much of that the stuff that we talked about today has played out and in what way. I'm looking forward to this year with you guys, and I hope this helps again, and I will see you soon.